Unit 6.1. The last lesson. Warm up. A. Fill the globe with an acrostic poem. Peace Day poem. People come together putting an end to all the disputes. All equal and fair. Coming up with opportunities. Enriching themselves. B. How can you make the world a better place? I can make the world a better place by recognizing the humanity of other people. Respect their dignity. Using less paper. Conserving water. Being generous. C. What does the picture symbolize? The picture symbolizes a symbol of peace originated with early Christians, who portrayed the act of baptism accompanied by a dove holding an olive branch in its back. D. Find the names of the various UN organizations with the logo given below and fill in the blanks. The International Labour Organization logo. The World Food Programme logo. The United Nations emblem. The United Nations Children's Fund logo. United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights logo. The World Health Organization logo. Glossary. Chirping. Making a short, sharp high-pitched sound, usually by small birds or insects. Bustle. Move in an energetic manner. Unison. Simultaneous utterance of words. Rapping. Striking with a series of rapid audible blows. Thumbed. A book which has been read often and bearing the marks of frequent handling. Cranky. Strange. Saar. A river in northeastern France and western Germany. Angelus. A Roman Catholic devotion commemorating the incarnation of Jesus and including the Hail Mary, said at morning, noon, and sunset. Vive la France is an expression used in French to show patriotism. It is difficult to translate the term literally into English, but it generally means, long live France. Quote. A. Answer the following questions in 2 or 3 sentences. 1. Why did Franz dread to go to school that day? Franz is a lazy but sensitive boy. He dislikes studying French and hates his teacher M. Hamel. That morning, he was scared as he was late for school. Also, as their teacher M. Hamel had announced the previous day that he would test them on the topic of participles, and Prone did not know anything at all, so he was scared. 2. What were the various things that tempted Franz to spend his day outdoors? Franz had another option in his mind, to miss school and enjoy the day out in the warm and bright weather. He described the scene. There were birds chirping on the trees and the noise of the Prussian soldiers doing the drill behind the sawmill could also be heard. 3. Why was the narrator not able to get to his desk without being seen? The day was unusual as there was no such sound coming out of the school and it seemed that the school was closed as it used to be on a Sunday morning. Franz had planned that he would take cover under the commotion and reach the class without being noticed, but that was not possible. 4. What was Frank sorry for? Franz was ashamed of being late and feared a scolding as he had to enter the classroom in front of everyone. Franz regretted for not being serious towards studies and for wasting his time in hunting birds' eggs. 5. Why were the old villagers sitting in the last desk? The old villagers sitting in the last desk had come to pay respect and thank M. Hamel for his service of 40 years in that school. Also, they wanted to show respect to their country and were sad as their mother tongue, French, would no longer be taught to them. 6. What were the thoughts of the narrator's parents? M. Hamel said that Franz's parents were not interested in getting him educated. They wanted him to work at a farm or a mill and earn some money. 7. Why does M. Hamel say that we must guard our language? M. Hamel went on to talk of the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical. That they must guard it among them because when people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language at once as if they had the key to their prison. 8. M. Hamel was gazing at many things. What were they? He was gazing at the different things in the classroom in succession. He stood at the desks in the classroom. The walnut trees in the garden outside had grown taller. The hopin on the outer wall of the school building had climbed up to the roof. 9. When and how did M. Hamel bid farewell to the class? When M. Hamel heard the trumpets, he stood up very pale to show respect, and he wrote the words, Vive la France, meaning, Long live France, on the blackboard, and he left the class. B. Answer the following questions in about 100 to 150 words. 1. We appreciate the value of something only when we are about to lose it. Explain this with reference to the French language and M. Hamel. Franz peeped inside the class and saw his classmate seated and M. Hamel, them teacher walking in the class with the ruler made of iron placed under his arm. Franz feared a beating. Franz found it strange as M. Hamel did not say anything, and he was confused and could not figure out what was happening that day. Just then M. Hamel told them that it was their last lesson in French, as the Prussians in Berlin had ordered that French language would no longer be taught. Franz regretted for not being serious towards studies and wasting his time. M. Hamel said to Franz that he would not scold him, as now he had realized his mistakes. He told the lads that the enemies would laugh at them and said that they only showed to be Frenchmen, as they could neither speak nor write their own language as being the most beautiful, clearest and most logical language in the world. He told them to guard it among themselves, because when people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it as if they had the key to their prison. The teacher took a lesson in grammar. That day Franz was surprised that he understood the lesson with ease and felt he had been attentive. This shows the value of something is appreciated only when we lose it. 2. Give an account of the last day of M. Hamel in school. M. Hamel had been there for 40 years as a French teacher. He was full of grief, nostalgia, and patriotism. As a mark of respect to his hard work, the village men also attended his last lesson. They were sad as they did not teach their mother tongue, French, in their childhood. M. Hamel told them that they all were at fault for not being eager enough to learn, putting it off to the next day. He blamed himself for not teaching them sincerely. His patriotism was reflected in his praise for the French language being the most beautiful and logical language in the world. He told the class to guard their language, as being close to one's language is the key to escape from the poison of slavery. M. Hamel was gazing at one after other in the classroom. M. Hamel began to speak all to the sound of trumpets, but could not continue as he was overpowered by his emotions. He took a piece of chalk and wrote the words, Vive la France, meaning, Long live France, on the blackboard. Then he stopped writing and signaled the students to make a move. C. In column A are some of the idiomatic phrases from the essay. Match them with equivalent single words in column B. Ambience. Go far. Reveal. Succeed. Blow up. Submit. Exploit. Show up. Explode. Require. Call on. Succeed. Reveal. Break off. Finish. Finish. Knuckle under. Require. Submit. D. Frame sentences of your own using the above idiomatic phrases. He goes for a job as a delivery driver. The boiler blew up, wrecking the whole house. I will be very surprised if they show up on time. The human rights group has called on the US to end the death penalty. The two countries have broken off diplomatic relations. He wasn't going to knuckle under some work. A. Given below are some idiomatic phrases. Find the meaning of it using the dictionary. Put on, start wearing something. Walk away, to leave a place, situation or person. Come in, enter, arrive. Time out, time for rest away from one's usual work. Try again, way of encouraging someone to do something. Go on, continue. Listening. Listen to the article titled, Remembering Nell Jeraman. In pairs, present an interview. One student will be the interviewer and the other would be Nell Jeraman himself. Two sets of conversations has been given as examples for your help. Student A, interviewer, Vanakkam sir. For what cause do you organize festivals? Student B, NJ, I organize these festivals with a difference. I present seeds to all the participating farmers. Student A, interviewer, oh, that's really good, sir. What do you expect in return? Student B, NJ, in return I expect them to have double the harvest next year. Student A, interviewer, where did you organize the Nell festival? Student B, NJ, the Nell festival was organized at Thanjavur. Student A, interviewer, can you mention how many people congregated for the meeting? Student B, NJ, more than 5,000 people congregated for the meeting. Student A, interviewer, what did you distribute to the farmers? Student B, NJ, traditional paddy seeds were distributed to the farmers. Student A, interviewer, how did you commute to each these villages? Student B, NJ, if people called me asking for number of varieties of seeds, I will go directly to see to it that they got what they wanted. Student A, interviewer, Aya, do you plan your schedules? Student B, NJ, no. I don't plan my schedules. Student A, interviewer, how could you remain so cool and calm, sir? Student B, NJ, I have an alternative to solve each and every problem. Student A, interviewer, where was your heart and soul? Student B, NJ, my heart and soul was with the Puddi fields. Student A, interviewer, people say when your popularity grew, you spent less time in the field. Student B, NJ, no, I spent more time in the field. Because that's where my heart was. Student A, interviewer, what is your message to the world? Student B, NJ, work selflessly for the society, it WLL give back. Student A, interviewer, thank you, sir. Nandri. Student B, NJ, Nandri. Speaking. A road map is given below. Answer the questions that follow with the help of the road map. Work in pairs and discuss to give directions to it to one place from another. 1. You are at the market, you need directions to go to the pharmacy, step into George Street. Turn left and walk along, miss the 2 right cuts. Turn at the 3rd right cut into South Road. Walk along. Next to the hospital to your left, you find the pharmacy. 2. You are in a bookshop, ask your partner to direct you to the art gallery. Step into Park Street, walk towards the market, turn right into George Street, walk past the 4 crossroads. To your left opposite to the gift shop is the art gallery. 3. Give your partner the directions to go from the bank to the hotel. Step into Park Street. Turn left and walk to the end of the road. Turn right into George Street, miss the North Road cutting and walk along. The hotel is to your right opposite to the bakery. 4. Direct your partner from the post office to the market, step into Central Avenue, turn right and walk along. Turn right into the Park Street, miss the 4 Road junction. Continue walking. To your left is the market. 5. Your partner wants to go the library from school, give suitable directions. Step into Central Avenue, turn right. Turn into the left cutting North Road, walk straight till you reach the junction. Turn left at the junction into George Street. To your right is the library. Reading. Read the poem carefully and answer the questions that follow. 1. Fill in the blanks. Festive of light is the festival which fills good hearts with delight. The joy of giving is referred to as a festival of sacrifice. 2. What kind of joy is unfurled during the festival of sacrifice? The joy of giving is the kind of joy unfurled during the festival of sacrifice. 3. How can we make our life worth living? We can make our life worth living by celebrating the festivals. 4. What does the poet mean by festival of flowers? Festival of flowers, mean life brightens up with colors. 5. When are we in a state of trance? At the festival of dance, we are in a state of trance. 6. What do the people do when the festival of music is celebrated? When the festival of music and celebrated, people will sing the joyous lyric. 7. What makes us happy and free? According to the poet, to share a word with love makes us happy and free. 8. Find out the rhyme scheme employed in the fourth stanza above. 9. Pick out the rhyming words from the first stanza of the poem. Harvest, best, light, delight. 10. Write down the words that alliterate in the poetic lines below. Festival of flowers, that spreads treasures on a tree. Grammar. A. Fill in the blanks appropriately. Mahatma Gandhi is the father of our nation. There are 10 dogs in my street. They have to write the exercises neatly. Buttermilk is good for health. Fruits are good for health. B. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate verb. The quality of dal is not good. The horse carriage is at the door. My friend and teacher have come. Is your father and mother at home? Honor and glory is his reward. The ship with its crew is sailing good. Gulliver's Travels is an excellent story. Neither food nor water is found here. Mathematics is a branch of study. 15 minutes is allowed to read the question paper. D. Identify the non-finites in the following sentences and underline them. 1. Roshan dreams of becoming an architect. Roshan dreams of becoming an architect. Participle. 2. We must aim at fulfilling Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's dream to make India the most developed country by 2020. We must aim at fulfilling Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's dream to make India the most developed country by 2020. Participle. 3. Taking the children to the museum is Seema's responsibility. It is Seema's responsibility to take the children to the museum. Infinitive. 4. Having finished the work, the manager decided to return home. Having finished the work, the manager decided to return home. Participle. 5. Traveling with her family, Tara enjoyed every minute of it. Traveling with her family, Tara enjoyed every minute of it. Gerund. A. Fill in the blank with the correct alternative. Having played on the flute, Krishna returned it. Played, having played. We wish she continues being healthy. Being. B. The doctor advised him against wandering in the sun. Wandered, wandering. I like drinking rasam. Drinking, drink. Having used the scissors, I returned it to her. Using, having used. F. Says the correct sentences. 1. I had desired to eat a cake. I had desired to have eaten cake. 2. My son is fond of music. My son is fond to music. 3. Srina avoids eating fruits. Srina avoids to eat fruits. 4. Bravery is not to pick a quarrel. Bravery is not picking a quarrel. 5. It is easier to say than do. It is easier said than done. Unit 6.2. No men are foreign. Glossary. Condemn. Express complete disapproval. Labor. Hard work. Betray. Disloyal. Defile. Damage the purity or appearance. Outrage. Extremely strong reaction of anger, shock. A. Based on the understanding of the poem, read the following lines and answer the questions given below. 1. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes like ours. The land our brothers walk upon is earth like this, in which we all shall lie. A. What is found beneath all uniforms? A single body is found beneath all uniforms. B. What is same for every one of us? The body is the same for every one of us. C. Where are we all going to lie finally? Finally, we are all going to lie in the earth. 2. They, too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by was long winter starved. A. What is common for all of us? The sun, air and water is common for all of us. B. How are we fed? We are fed by the grains that are harvested. See, mention the season referred here. The season mentioned is a long winter. 3. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. A. Who does, there, refer to? There refers to the brothers who live in the earth. B. What does the poet mean by lines we read? The phrase line we read mean the marks on the hands of the people who work hard are looked at by us. C. What does not differ? The laborious hard work of other is not different from ours. 4. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. A. Who tells us to hate our brothers? The people who belong to our country tell us to hate the people who live in an alien land. The poet calls the alien our brothers. B. What happens when we hate our brothers? It reflects ourselves, our attitudes, etc. C. What do we do to ourselves? By hating others, we are really disloyal to ourselves. 5. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign, and no countries strange. A. What outrages the innocence? Are greedy to occupy other countries by waging war against them, resulting in devastation outrages the innocence. B. Who are not foreign? The men who live in other countries are not foreigners. C. What is not strange? The nearby countries are not strange. B. Based on your understanding of the poem, complete the following by choosing the appropriate words, phrases given in brackets. Unity of human dreams and aspirations. Same land. Our hands. A natural, breathing body. Same eyes. Brotherhood language. Human earth. This poem is about the brotherhood of all men. The subject of the poem is the unity of human race, despite of the difference in color, caste, creed, religion, country etc. All human beings are same. We walk on the same land and we will be buried under it. Each and every one of us are related to the other. We all are born same and die in the same way. We may wear different uniforms like language. During wars, the opposing side will also have the same breathing body like ours. We as human do the same labor with our hands and look at the world with the same eyes. Waging war against others as they belong to a different country is like attacking our own selves. It is the human earth we impair. We all share the same dreams and aspirations. We are similar to each other. So the poet concludes that we shouldn't have wars as it is unnatural to fight against us. C. Based on your understanding of the poem, answer the following questions in a paragraph of about 100 to 150 words. 1. What is the central theme of the poem? No men are foreign. James Falconer Kirkup expresses his wish that all men of the world should consider themselves as brothers. Though they belong to a different country or speak a different language, they are clothed in a body that breathes. They live in the same land where they would finally settle in. They enjoy the boundaries of nature, the sun, the air, the water. They take food by harvesting. They are affected by war. They have the game hand, same eyes like ours. People who are really induced to hate others should avoid it. Because by their habit of hating, they are degrading themselves. Hating in turn leads to war and it ends in the destruction of the living space. Thereby the poet tells us to consider this view. No men are foreign and no countries strange. 2. The poem, No Men Are Foreign, has a greater relevance in today's world. Elucidate. Hatred is a burning spree in today's world. Terrorism rules the day. Then and there is human attack the world over. One is always in a dilemma how to control the hatred and enmity among the nations. It is $1 million question. So the poem of James Falconer Kirkup is a timely capsule to reduce the evil effects of hatred and violence. If his poem is really read and understood by the human beings, then it would mitigate the grievances of war. To consider and confirm this, Please try to understand the poet's view. The poet tries to say that the person who live in the other countries have the same hand, same eyes, a body that breathes like ours. So he ascertains that the readers should take this into account. Further, the hatred turning into war really demolishes the earth where the humans survive. Considering all these, we, the humans, should live a life of brotherhood. Unit 6.3. The Little Hero of Holland. Glossary. Dikes. An embankment for controlling or holding back the waters of the sea or a river. Sluices. A sliding gate or other device for controlling the flow of water, especially one in a lock gate, trickling. Flowing in a small stream, a liquid. Numb. Deprived of the power of sensation, chatted. Feeling cold and frightened that one can't stop the upper teeth from against one's lower teeth. Crouching. Adopting a position where the knees are bent and the upper body is brought forward and down. Groan. Make a deep inarticulate sound conveying pain. Shovels. Tool resembling a spade with a broad blade and typically upturned side, used for moving earth, coal, snow etc. A. Based on the understanding of the story, complete the graphic organizer suitably. Title. A Brave Lad. Setting. The rainy season ready to damage the dike in Holland. Characters. Peter, his father, mother, his friend the blind man. A worker, people. Theme. Patriotism, love for fellow beings. Plot 1. Peter's mother asking him to go to the blind man. Plot 2. Peter's hearing of the trickling water in the dike. Plot 3. Peter's decision to put his finger in the hole. Climax 1. Peter stayed there at night, keeping the sea out of the reach of the land. Climax 2. In the morning, a man sees a boy groaning. Climax 3. The man's inquiry and his alert to the people. Values highlighted in the story. Presence of mind. Brave decision. Timely action. Be based on the understanding of the story. Answer the following questions in 1 or 2 sentences. 1. What are the little children of Holland aware of? The little children are aware that even a small leak in the dike will cause an irreparable damage to the land and the people. 2. What was the work assigned to Peter's father? Peter's father was assigned the task of tending the gates or sluices. 3. Why did Peter's mother call him? Peter's mother called him to give cake to his friend, the blind man. 4. How did Peter spend his time with his blind friend? He talked with him about the sun, the flowers, the ships far out at sea and his walk along the dike. 5. Why did the father always say angry waters? If there was heavy flood, the result would be dangerous to the people and the land. So the father always said, angry waters. 6. What did Peter see when he stopped near the dikes? First, he heard the sound of trickling water and then he saw a small hole in the dike. 7. What were the thoughts of the mother when Peter didn't return home? His mother thought that Peter was spending the night with his friend, the blind man. 8. How did Peter spend his night at the dikes? Peter spent his night with his finger in the hole, shivering with cold, arm ached and it grew stiff and numb. 9. Who found Peter in the dikes and what did he do? Early next morning, a man going to work, heard a groan and saw Peter in the dikes with his finger in the small hole. Immediately, he informed the dangerous situation to the people of that area. 10. How did the villagers mend the hole? The villagers came with shovels and the hole was soon mended. C. Based on your understanding of the story, answer the following question in about 100 to 150 words. Narrate in your own words the circumstances that led Peter to be a brave little hero. Holland is the country where the lands mostly lie below sea level. So there are dikes to keep the water not entering into the lands. Even the small children know the importance of the dikes. Peter, a boy of 8, lived with his father who tended the gates of the dike with his mother tongue. He used to visit his friend, a blind man, on the other side of the dike. Once on such a visit to his friend, on his return to his house, he heard the sound of water trickling down. He saw a hole in the dike. Immediately he put his finger into the hole to stop the flow of water. All night, nobody came to help him. The next morning, man who came for work saw Peter crouching beside the dike with his finger on the hole. He understood the situation and raised an alarm. Then the people came and mended the hole in the dike. D. Identify the character speaker. 1. I want you to go across the dike and take these cakes to your friend, the blind man. Peter's mother. 2. I am glad they are so strong. Peter. 3. Holland shall not be drowned while I am here. Peter. 4. What's the matter? He called. Are you hurt? A man going to work. 5. Tell them to come quickly. Peter.